Hello, hello. Welcome to day 3 of BusinessPalooza. Welcome. I'm going to leave a minute, as always, just for people to connect. In the meanwhile, feel free to say hi on the chat. Let us know your company. What do you do? If you want to drop a link of your Instagram or your LinkedIn so we can connect with you, please do. This is the second week of BusinessPalooza. So we had a couple presentations last week. Those are saved in this YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe as well so you can see other videos for small businesses. So we have those presentations recorded. Today, we're going to have myself presenting. My name is Julia Falci. I'm a business coach and marketing consultant. So the first presentation today is going to be about marketing and how to build a strong foundation for your business. And then we're going to have Mariya and Braedan from Ridley Film talking about how to create video content for your business. So we're going to share and explore some ideas. Sometimes there are businesses that it seems kind of hard to find ideas on how to create video content. So we're going to do a brainstorming session collectively. We're all going to put our heads together so you can share your business industry, and we're going to just try to think of some ideas that you can use video content for your marketing. So thank you again for joining. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please drop on the chat as well. And I think we can get started. Let me share. So I have 2 screens here, so don't mind me if I'm like looking to 2 screens. Okay, just going to add my presentation here. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to build a strong online presence for your business. Before I get started with that, I do want to share a little bit about myself so you can get to know me better and why you should listen to me. So 5 things about me very quickly. One is that you can hear my accent. I'm originally from Brazil. I've been living in Vancouver for 14 years, almost 14 in January is going to be 14 years. So it's been a little while here. My background in Brazil is in graphic design, actually. So I really love design and I have a good eye for design, but I am not a great designer. So don't hire me for any designing related services, but I do love marketing. So I studied marketing at BCIT here in Vancouver, and I have been working with digital marketing specifically for over a decade. And today I work independently as a business coach and marketing consultant, and I work especially with small businesses that are women-led and female solopreneurs. So just a little bit about my corporate career. I worked basically in 3 companies in marketing roles here in Vancouver. Each of these companies I stayed for about 3.5 years each. The first one was a B2C company where we had a really strong digital marketing program, really strong in SEO. So we doubled our website traffic year after year for 3 consecutive years. And we also doubled the revenue year after year for 3 years. And that got us to the list of Profit 500, which is Canada's fastest growing companies, which is pretty exciting. After that experience, I went to a web development agency. It's one of the largest web development agencies in Vancouver. And I got to work there half of the time as the director of digital marketing as well. So I got to oversee most of the projects that we had there. It gave me a lot of experience working with website optimization, understanding conversions on websites, like how to drive content that leads to conversions. So that's something I'm very passionate about as well. And I did a little bit of everything in the agency. So we did SEO, email marketing, paid advertising, social media. So really had my hands everywhere. So here are just a few of the companies that I worked with while in the agency. So companies like Canfor, Tag Heuer, City of Nanaimo. So we did some government projects as well in there. And lastly, my third experience in the corporate world was in tech. So I worked for a SaaS company, software as a service, and it was an event management software. It was an award-winning software. We won the Event Technology Awards twice, which is like the Oscars of event technology world. They have this event every year in London, in the UK. So this photo here, it's me and the team holding the 2019 awards that we won. And this platform is used, it's a corporate event management software. So it's used by companies like Adobe, NBC, Hilton, and others. And then I follow the entrepreneurial route, and I love to help small businesses. So rather than just working with big companies and helping them make more money, I do love working with small business owners and help people really work on their dreams, take their dreams, and making them into reality. Um, and just being close to people. So I'm really passionate about that. And here's just some photos of some workshops that I did prior to the pandemic and some events that I spoke at. So for today's agenda, here's just what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the marketing channels that are available for you to choose from. I'm going to talk about the marketing funnel and how that works. The customer journey, which is associated with the marketing funnel, how you can choose the best channels for your business, and some tips for creating content. So it's a lot of content today, but I am very excited. This little emoji here, it's supposed to be me. Not sure if it looks like me, but that's the intention here. So I want to start with a question, and if you can answer in the chat as well, that would be great, just so I can hear from you. But where are your customers coming from today? Like, do you know where they're coming from? And if you don't know, that's okay. But if you can also write on the chat so I can hear from you. What I hear a lot from people who come to me, like prospects and people that start working with me, and I ask where your customers are coming from, I usually hear two things. Either they are coming a lot from referral, so it's a word of mouth, that they have like happy customers, and those happy customers are going to tell other people about how happy they were about their experience, and then those people are going to buy from you, and then that just continues as a cycle. So it's all based on word of mouth. It's super common for small businesses. And the other one that I hear a lot is Google. So people just reach out through Google, they get to your website, and they close business. And what happens is sometimes we think like, oh, I'm doing really well because I don't need to do anything. And clients are coming to me because they come either through referral or from Google. But what happens, it's actually you're missing a lot of other opportunities that you could be reaching people in other ways. I see Barbara here says referrals. Yes, I think for small business owners, that's a big one. Thank you for sharing, Barbara. So what I want you to think about is like, if you could keep all the referrals that you have today or all the Google traffic that you get today, so you keep that same amount, but then you can add more prospects coming from other sources, that would be great, right? So you can keep what you have and just increase. So I'm going to show how that would look like. This is a screenshot from Google Analytics, which is Google tool just to see like how your website traffic is doing, where your traffic is coming from, which traffic is converting, so you can have that sort of data. So here's a screenshot that is showing where traffic is coming from for a certain website. And what you see here is this chart is very diverse. So you have direct traffic, which means people likely just went to the website straight, like let's say someone just typed juliafalci.com, or it could be something like you had an SMS message and you opened and Google couldn't track where that came from. That can be under direct. That's like just in a nutshell. It could be organic search. That means Google, Bing, Yahoo, etc. It could be email marketing. So you send an email with a link to your blog, for example. People click and get to your website. So the email is a referral. It's a traffic source. Referral will mean not referral in the terms of word of mouth. Here, when we're talking about digital marketing, referral means it's like a third-party website that has a link to your website. So, for example, you have a link on CBC News, like they made a news about your business, and then they put a link to your website and people click. CBC is a referral site. So it's a referral channel bringing traffic to your website. Other can be other channels that Google can't say where it's coming from. Paid search would be paid advertising and social media channels. So why I want to show this is just so you can have an idea like what a healthy pie chart looks like. It's something like this, that it's diverse. So you don't want all of your customers coming from one place, like or 90% of your customers coming all from word of mouth, all coming from Google. You want to have a little bit of a mix, and that's a sign that you have a healthy channel and marketing foundation for your business. Even because like if one of those channels stop working for you, you have other channels to rely on. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket, and that's really important. I don't know if you guys remember recently, Instagram and Facebook shut down for like a full day, and businesses that rely on those platforms, I think they could have a taste on what it would be like if they just, I don't know, went out of business or your account gets hacked. It's very dangerous. So it's good to have a strategy that you can tap into different channels. So I'm just going to share a few channels here with you just so you can think about what ideas you can have, like what marketing channels you can use for your business. So for example, when we're talking about website, we can have your website, but we can have a blog on that site. We can do a strong SEO program so people can find you in Google, Yahoo, Bing, etc. And we can have an online store so people can buy from you right away. We can have social media, which is very straightforward. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube. We have PR, so press release, meaning you could do press releases and send to media companies, and the media could choose to pick your story and publish free because it's of public interest. It's kind of hard to get picked by free press release like that, but you can do media features that are paid and they can be really successful. For example, Daily Hive, they have, it used to be around like $2,000 to $3,000 to have a story featured on Daily Hive, like a sponsored story. So you can write or hire a writer to write an article for Daily Hive, for example, linking to your site. That can be really powerful. It can drive traffic for a long time because that blog lives there. It's also very good for SEO. So this is a very good strategy to attract people. And I think not many people do this, especially in the small business world, but it can be really good. Messaging channels. So we have email marketing, but we also have WhatsApp, Telegram, SMS messaging. We have referral, as I mentioned before. Here I'm talking about third-party websites and not about word of mouth. So for referrals, we have review websites and online directories, for example, Yelp, Yellow Pages. We have some niche third-party sites. For example, Psychology Today. It's one that is a directory just for counselors and psychologists. We have HomeStars, which is for home-based industries. So you can find which is the best for your industry, but those websites are great for bringing traffic. There are sites like Quora, Reddit, and Medium where you can write articles and you can link back to your site so people can hear about you, what you do, and get traffic to your website. And we have affiliate programs, which are basically people sharing about your business and they would get a commission out of it. So usually you probably have seen before with Amazon links, for example, you look for a recipe on Google and then people like share the recipe, but then they link all the pans and pots and spoons that they used to do that recipe, and that goes to Amazon. And if you buy, that person gets a commission out of that sale. This strategy of affiliate, it's not used only for Amazon kind of business. You can use for anything. So you can do affiliate for a service-based business as well. And what you're doing is that you're having that one person being a little bit of a brand ambassador and sharing about your services to other people to buy from you, and you pay that commission. And lastly, advertising. So we're talking about Google ads, social ads, banner ads, video ads, and ad placement. Ad placement meaning you can choose specific websites that are niche usually, and you can pay them to have a banner ad on their site, for example, and you placed on that exactly website instead of letting Google place that ad for you. I highly recommend you take a screenshot of this screen because here you have a whole lot of ideas. You don't need to do everything. I don't expect you to do everything, and I don't think you should do all of this because it's way too much. So you need to see what works for you, and that's what we're going to learn next in this session. So I'm going to show how to decide which channels to choose. Another little emoji for you. All right, so we have a little bit of a marketing funnel here. If you have heard about the marketing funnel, you're going to be very familiar with what I'm saying. But if not, I'm going to explain what it is. So the marketing funnel, usually we go through 3 stages. So we have top of the funnel, which usually is when people are aware that they have a problem or that they need a solution for something. And that also means that they are aware now that you exist. So there is like the customer journey funnel, and then there is the marketing funnel. So they are aware that you exist and that you can probably solve the problem that they have. So then we go to middle of the funnel, which is the consideration stage, and they are thinking about if your solution is the one that they are looking for, or what other solutions are in the market, and they're gonna just consider what's available to make the final decision. And last, the bottom of the funnel, they're gonna take action and purchase and make the conversion. So this is how the marketing funnel works. And if we think about the marketing channels that I just mentioned, how we're going to think about it is just like I have here. So first, the awareness stage. So you want people to be aware that you exist and that you can solve the problem that they have. So the best channels for you at this stage, so I put here, are platforms that are going to be strong in discoverability, so that people can discover you organically without you reaching out, let's say. So for example, website and blog through SEO, if people Google a problem that they have and your website comes as a solution, this is a way that people are discovering you. So they are aware now that you exist. Pinterest. How many times have you made a search in Google and on this search results page, you saw a Pinterest link with like 40 or 100 links that were related to that search, that keyword that the person is looking for? Pinterest is a really strong search engine platform. It's not for every business, and that's why I need you guys to think about what channels will match your business format, your business model, and which channels your prospects are in. Because if your prospects don't use Pinterest, then it's not a good platform. But if they use Pinterest, it can be really strong. And I think Pinterest is one that people don't think much of. Then we have YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine. It's just behind Google, and YouTube is also owned by Google, so it's really strong. A lot of people will just go to YouTube to make their search right there. So if you can create YouTube videos, for example, depending on the industry, could be a really great way to get people discovering you. Podcasts is also good. Press release, as I mentioned. So think about something like Daily Hive. People never heard about you or your business, and then they read on Daily Hive, and now they know you. They go to your website, and they may buy from you. We have the referral websites and online directories that I mentioned, advertising. I put TikTok and Reels here. Those are social channels. However, the algorithm for TikTok and for Reels, they boost discoverability because those platforms, they like to show content to people who have a likelihood of enjoying your content based on what they know about that person. So TikTok and Reels will fall onto the discoverability section, and affiliate programs. So these are the channels. If you want to reach more people, you want to reach more audiences, grow your audience, more people to know about you, these are the channels you should be looking at. Middle of the funnel, we're going to talk about people. Now they know you, they probably follow you, maybe they subscribed to your newsletter or something like that, and now you need to give them reasons to buy from you. So you're building more interest, building more desire to work with you. And the best way to do this is through relationship building platforms. So the main examples here, social media. So we have Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Those are all really good relationship building platforms, and messaging. So if someone subscribed to your newsletter, you need to have a newsletter program. I see some people like they have the email capture, but they never send an email. And with time, people are just going to forget about who you are. So make sure if you're capturing people's emails, try to send at least one email per month. With some good content, something that it's going to be desirable by your audience. That's a great idea. You can also use WhatsApp, Telegram, other messaging apps as well. And last on the funnel here, bottom of the funnel, we have conversion platforms. This is not too much the focus of today's class, but I wanted to put some example here of channels that you can use just so you know, and we have the full funnel complete, but we're not going to touch too much on this. So basically here we're talking about purchase, about conversion, about people taking action. So you need to make sure you're giving people the opportunity to buy from you. Like sometimes I see people just make it really hard to buy. Like you need to book a time, but there is no calendar to book, and then the contact form doesn't work. And then you may need to email the person. It just makes the whole process very difficult. So I highly recommend you look at how is your process right now for people to convert and try to make it as easy as possible. So here's some examples. Online checkout, like let people shop online instead of having to like order online. I've seen this in the past. I think the pandemic really accelerated e-commerce and online shopping, but I've seen that you need to order something online and then like they're going to email you so you can pay, and then they're going to do the shipping. It's just like very like multi-step, and it's a lot of work, so I don't recommend that. So having an online checkout, having an online booking system, also like it's so annoying, honestly. Sorry for the word, but when you're trying to book a meeting with someone and you're like, can you meet 2 p.m. on a Tuesday? And then the person replies, oh, I can't on Tuesday, but can you do it on Wednesday? And then you reply, oh, I can't, but what about 5 p.m.? And then it's that back and forth that it's not only taking your time and your client's time, but it just makes that for a poor experience. So if you can make it easy, like just put a calendar, online booking, let the person book the time that works for them. I highly recommend using some system like that. The other great thing about booking systems as well is that people can book a time with you anytime. So it can be midnight on a Monday, and people can just go and book a time with you rather than be having to talk to you to see when you're available first. Then we have contact forms that you can have on your website. We can have the affiliate programs. They are platforms that can automate this as well. So people can, you just create a special link, people buy from that link, and then you know who bought from who, and you can pay the commissions. And also loyalty programs. So loyalty programs, we're talking about people who have been your clients in the past, and then you can give them, for example, points that they can use, like they can collect points just like Starbucks, and then they can use those points to purchase something with you in the future. So that's an idea of loyalty program that it's going to help with your conversions as well. Does everything make sense so far? Feel free to send questions on the chat. I hope I'm not going too fast. I feel like I'm going too fast, but just let me know if the pace is okay, if you have any questions, and I'll slow down. All right, so we went over the marketing channels available, then we went over the marketing channels for each stage of the funnel. And now I want you to think about the decision-making process that people go through when they buy something. And this decision-making process, it's the same as the funnel, okay? So first they're gonna recognize the need, then they're gonna search for solutions, then consider the alternatives, and then make the purchase decision. So I'm gonna give an example. One that is very simple that we've all gone through at some point in our lives. It's buying a phone. So let's say my phone broke and I need a new phone. So first I recognize a need, like obvious, my phone broke, I need a new phone. So I'm going to search for solutions. Maybe I'm going to think like, do I want to keep my Apple phone or do I want to go Android and I don't know, save some money, like, or do they have better cameras in Androids? So I'm not sure, and I may search for solutions to see what's going to fit my needs. So I'm going to have a list of requirements a little bit, and I'm going to do this research. During this process, what I'm likely going to do is I'm going to ask people that I know who understands about technology, and I'm going to get their opinion. So I'm going to do like a peer connection. I'm going to Google for sure, and I'm going to get into tons of blog posts, especially technology industry, lots of blog posts comparing different phones, different models, etc. Definitely also a lot of YouTube videos comparing features between phones. So I'm going to go over all of those things, which is search for solutions. Considering alternatives, I'll probably narrow down from like, let's say before I was looking at I don't know, 15 options that I'm just browsing and looking, and I'm going to narrow down to maybe 3 options that I'm more serious about, and I'm going to compare all the features, all the prices, and see what's best for me. And then I'm going to get into the fourth stage here, which is the purchase decision. So this 1, 2, 3, 4 step is exactly how we make decisions for anything that we buy. So some things, it may be a little bit short, that it's something really cheap, like I'm going to buy a hot dog. I'm hungry. I recognize my need. I'm going to search for solutions. Like I'm hungry. What's around me? It's like Costco is right there. And I'm just going to get, like, I go to Costco. There is hot dog and pizza. I'll choose a hot dog. It's like it can be as simple as that. And it can be really long for like when we're buying something more expensive. Usually that cycle takes longer, but it always goes through 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you think about this is also the funnel, as I mentioned. You need to think about where your prospects, where your ideal customer goes to, which channels they go to in order to make a decision, in order to search for solutions, in order to compare solutions. Where do they go? And then you meet your customer where they are. So when I gave you that list, this is the same list that I had on the other slide that had like the little computer in the middle. When I gave you this list of channels, as I mentioned, I don't expect to do everything, and you shouldn't do everything, but you should think about which platforms your customers are going to look at. Are they going to read the blog? Are they searching things in Google? Is SEO important for your business, like for you to rank well in Google so people can find you? Which social channels they are on, because you don't need to use all the channels. Just pick one. It's better to do one social media channel really well than do 3 social media channels that you just don't do a good job at. So just think about how you can be at the right place in the right time when your prospects are looking for what you offer. So that's how I want you to approach this. So there is no right answer in which channels are best, because it's going to depend on your business and also on your capacity, because when we have a small business, usually we are the ones managing everything, and we have limited budget. So you can see what you can do with your time and budget in order to manage these channels. One last tip that I want to share with you today, it's about repurposing content. So when we look, let me go back. When we look at all of these channels here, like we also go like, oh my God, I need to create so much content. I can't do this. It's too much. But actually, it's not that hard. There are ways. So repurposing content is one of the easiest and best ways that you can do. Basically, you can get a long format content like a blog post, a YouTube video, a press release, a podcast, like those pieces of content. They're usually longer, and you can break them down into smaller pieces. So like a blog post can become an email marketing piece. You can put part of that content. It's not a copy and paste. You're going to adapt the content to the new media, to the new channel, but it saves you a lot of work. Like you don't need to do things 1,000 times. Like you don't need to create content, unique content for everything. So here you're going to get a blog post, and you can break down into an email. You can make a social media post. Maybe that blog post can be 3 social media posts if you break down the information. And you can pin that blog post into Pinterest, for example. That same blog post could be content for a YouTube video, for example, and it could be maybe do like a podcast. So this is only one piece of content that you can break down into multiple channels. So you don't need to be creating content like a content machine, because I know that's one of the main challenges for people today. So I hope this makes sense. And if you need help to find the right channels for your business, or if you have any questions about what I presented today, I do want to offer everyone here a complimentary 30-minute consultation. You can just go to my website and fill the contact form. So it's just juliafalci.com/contact. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. Like you can message me on Instagram, and we can chat more about this. And before we wrap, I just want to also share that I have a group coaching program. Most people who already follow me already know this program. I've been running for a couple of years. It's a small group for female entrepreneurs, and it's called Mastermind. And I'm revising the content right now. So this one, it's the Mastermind Business Builder. So it's for who is in the beginning stages of their business, or maybe they just have the idea and they need to build all the foundation. So it's a mix of online classes and group coaching calls where we go over the entire process. You kind of leave with a business plan. We go over your target audience, your competitor analysis, your product and pricing, pretty much like everything that you need. So 8 lessons and 8 group coaching calls over 4 months with 1 meeting per week. And the next group is going to start January 31st. So I wanted to let you guys know first. And for who is interested, whoever joins this year, I'm going to give a complimentary 1-hour session before we get started. So if you already have too many ideas that you want to chat about, we can chat before the group starts in January 31st. So feel free to reach out. I just have a couple of testimonials from people who joined in the past. So this one is Gabriella. She's actually finishing right now. We have 2 weeks left for her program. So she said, since I began my mentoring journey with Julia, my business has grown in ways I never expected. Through her guidance, we were able to boost our social media following by over 40% and counting, as well as a 70% increase in B2C revenue. So that's an amazing result from Gabriella. We had Cassia. She has a catering company. And she said all the objectives that she wrote down at the beginning of the Mastermind program, they are now becoming a reality. And the program was one of the best experiences this year. And lastly, this one from Rita. She said, I started Mastermind program with a vague idea of where I wanted to go with my business. And I left knowing exactly the direction to go and how to get there. So if this resonates with you, feel free to message me. I can share more information about it. It'll be a pleasure to have you guys joining. And I'll just leave some time for questions if anyone has questions about anything. And I'll leave this screen with my contact information. So feel free to email me or connect on social. And if you guys have any questions, I'll just leave a minute here. Otherwise, Mariya and Brandon can get ready and I'll get them here. It's kind of funny that today I am host and presenter. I am doing everything. Feeling also like a DJ with the multiple screens and pressing buttons. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. And I'll add you guys.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
It is us.
Thank you, Julia. That was really interesting. And thank you so much for all this cool information. And one of the testimonials are our good friend, Amrita. So we're excited to see good, positive feedback. Well, we're going to jump right into it. We don't want to keep you guys waiting. So we're just going to share our screen right now to get into one of our presentations. 1 second.
Sounds good. That's funny. I didn't know you know Rita. I want to hear all about it later.
Oh, no worries. Okay. We are sharing. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Wonderful. So our today's topic is content creation for everyone. Anyone can have content made for their businesses, but today we would love to target small and medium-sized businesses in particular. So who are we? Who are we?
That's a fantastic question, Ray. I'm glad you asked. So well, as the slide says, we're a video production company. People that might be unclear of even what that is, we make videos for businesses.
We also offer photography services for said businesses.
Yeah, that's true. We do that.
Our specialty is content creation for those businesses, if that's still not clear. So that content can be anything from the concept that you have, like some sort of an idea of what you think you may need, all the way to the actual products, which will be in the shape form of media. Yeah. Both of us have over 8 years of experience in this industry.
Quite a bit, yeah.
I come from the film sets, and my background is film and TV industry, and
whereas I was event space and weddings and things like that. So we come from separate areas of the industry, but they still fall under video and video production. Me and Mariya came together a long time ago when we realized that we could help people out and make some really great videos for medium and small businesses, and we've been rocking that for about 3 or 4 years now.
Going on a 4th year.
Going on 4.
Our team is just not myself and Braedan. Our team consists of freelancers who are, some of them are really good friends of ours. Some of them become part of our family. And our goal is to surround ourselves with people who are like-minded, who are as passionate as ourselves. So when you see the two of us, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The amount of work that it takes to have your project completed it takes basically a small village. And so we have that team of young professionals who are current, who are, they are updated on the latest trends, and they just really know what is current and what's trending. And obviously we offer our services from concept to completion, which means that we will meet you and we will help you discover what is it that your brand or your business needs. And then we will take you on a journey of creating that content.
Yeah.
So we would love to see you guys drop your businesses in the chat. And we know that this is a playback, so you will be able to watch this video back at any point. That's why we decided to use some examples ourselves. But for those who are watching us live, drop the businesses and we will circle back to them at the end. So, common misconceptions. As a production company, we have a lot of roadblocks that we're facing on day-to-day basis. And here's a few highlights that we have heard the most. So, I don't need content. I don't need video. I don't need photo. My business is too technical. I don't think that it'll work.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of people mean when they say too technical is they mean it's boring.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the best examples right on the screen there is construction. Construction, to a lot of people that even are in that industry, they're like, well, it's boring. Who would want to watch anything to do with it?
Yeah, it's concrete, it's, bricks, it's steel. What do I have to tell my audience? And who is my audience? Who would watch anything about these things? Well, that's the thing. There is a crazy big pool of people who will be interested in what you have to say. Yeah,
and that's the thing, I think a lot of people are in a way kind of justified in feeling that construction videos are boring. I mean, you don't have to look very far, even on the internet, just to see that a lot of construction videos are boring. And I think that just comes from how something gets traditionally shot, and it stays that way, and it doesn't change, it doesn't innovate. But I think that's something that a lot of production teams and freelancers are as well, video freelancers are doing nowadays. So they're trying to find, well, this thing has been shot this way a million times, how can we do it a little differently? And that's something that we try to do as well. So taking something that's traditionally boring in an industry, or taking something that, even if it's not traditionally boring, it's not something that's been even shot or filmed rather a lot. How do you take that and make it more interesting? And that's kind of our whole goal.
Yeah, and when we say it's boring, we don't mean that like, oh, no one cares. What we mean is that there has been a certain way of making the same kind of content for these industries. So if we were to go to engineering, right? What can we do to innovate this particular industry? How can we approach this very technical, very stern industry and make it relatable? And not only relatable, but also make it interesting to the audiences that are outside of the engineering, the audiences that don't necessarily have the experience. So this is our job, to come up with solutions that are not just displaying what your business is about. It's not just teaching your audiences what is your business, but it's taking it outside of the circle, outside of your target audience, and brings new things, like Julia was mentioning, the funnel, it brings new clients, new leads into your business. And that's kind of our specialty, to find those new and unexplored ways for you.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about video and its power, right? It's something that sticks with people. It's a very sticky kind of content. It's I think a lot better than the written word in a lot of ways. And so if you're a construction business, for example, if you if you've got a product or a way of doing business that is different than somebody else, or you've got something about your business that is marketable, that's where we come in to like really show that off. And the thing is, you can do so many different things with your business that that we can do with video that you'd be surprised. One of the best examples, again, just within construction, you can take, like, if someone's got a product, let's say they've got a physical product that they're trying to sell within that industry. There are a billion different ways that you could sell it and make it super interesting. And that's what we're really looking to do.
Yeah. Right. And then if we were to move on to our next misconception is, oh, my business is too repetitive to have content made, such as hairstyling. Like, how many heads can you film before we've seen all kinds of hairstyles? Beauty industry, how many lashes can you film applied before we've seen all kinds of mink lashes and stuff like that, or makeups, or or wedding makeups? And like cleaning industry, how many before and afters can we do until it feels a bit repetitive? But that's the thing, people love certain kind of content, and that you will always find a group of people who is excited about this kind of content, and they will follow you for more. And so I find that a lot of people get disencouraged, thinking that like, oh my God, I've done it so many times, who wants to keep seeing it? But people, like, once you find a good niche, people keep coming back for more.
The niche is huge.
Exactly, yeah.
And you also, like, the thing is, like, again, for a production company, we're going to be looking at the angle of, okay, there are a lot of videos out there, and even, like, just within your own social media channels or whatever, a lot of the videos are the same. So one of the first things we're going to look at is visually, how can we tell it differently? Like we had mentioned before, innovating, right? Trying to find interesting ways to retell this same story. I mean, look at films, right? We have a handful of different ways to tell stories. We just keep retelling them, but we find creative visual and ways to show these. One of the best ways we could do it, looking again off of the real estate industry. And I'm sure if you've ever been on social media, ever come across a video that a real estate agent has posted, 9 times out of 10, it's a video of a property that they're selling. And it's a walk-through video, right? So they start at the front of the place and they go through. And, there's nothing wrong with that.
But I find that what is the thing that we're seeing the most is that there's that top 1%, right? The percentage of agents that sell luxurious properties. And of course, everyone wants to see those. But then there's the remaining percentage of agents that work day in and day out, and they just sell regular 1-bedroom condos or smaller houses,
ranchers and things.
And it's not as exciting. It doesn't have a Lamborghini parked in the front. It doesn't have a swimming pool in the back. It doesn't have, like statues in the garden, like it's a very simple house. So real estate agents would look at those properties and go, is it worth it? Should I be even putting this out? But the answer is yes. Yes, you absolutely should be putting those out. But we have more ideas rather than just film a walkthrough. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, just going off of what you were just saying there, yes, you should be putting it out there because it's showing, the audience what kind of things you're selling. Because even if you are a real estate agent that has aspirations to be shooting, not shooting, that's us, working with big homes, right? Like they want to be in the West End and they want to be West Van, for the locals here, with nice big properties. If they're wanting to be doing that, well, they got to get there first, right? It's a hard process. And so while you're working up to that, one of the ways that we will try and innovate is looking for specific ways to, other than walkthroughs, to kind of, sell yourself or your business, sell your
on social
brand,
media.
Make yourself more presentable.
Yes. And so having yourself in videos, but also still, again, showing the properties that you're working on, because that's what's going to be the thing. We want you to be relatable, right? So whether you have a cleaning company or you're a real estate agent or you're a hairstylist, one of the ways that we will look into, if you've got a repetitive industry with content, is, well, let's maybe put you or the people you work with in front of the camera, right?
Yeah.
Because that's also a way you're going to grow an audience, is if people can find you relatable and they like watching you, then that's great. And if you're a real estate agent that's selling ranchers and you're a very down-to-earth person that's selling ranchers, that's great. We're going to show that off. We're going to create that person. It's like we're creating a character that you're not in the sense that you're being fake, but we're creating that world that you're then selling to somebody on their phone.
Yeah, and then, masterclass, so popular. And we're not encouraging you to have your own masterclass, but it seems to be a common theme to be sharing a little bit of information from a marketing standpoint. The best way to receive new amount of audience, the best way to have new loyal customers is to give a little bit for free, right? So you're giving that information that you have, that you've accumulated with your experience for free. So for example, you can be giving out information about mortgage, or, your experience with ranchers, or your experience with like 1 or 2 or 3 bedroom houses,
or pre-sales, or whatever. And that's the truth, is that like we can do, or any production company, it doesn't have to be us, any production company can put together videos with you in them that discuss educational topics that either people within your industry or potential clients are going to watch and get something out of and be inclined to buy from you.
Exactly.
Because there's trust there, right? You're building trust with that person as well. They feel like they can trust you because you are giving them something for free.
Totally. Yeah. And the thing that we also hear in response to this is like, well, if I were to do this, and then you were to go ahead and work with another real estate agent and they were to do this, and let's say a third person gets to do this, and we're all talking about the same topic of, let's say, mortgage, wouldn't that feel repetitive? Wouldn't that feel like there's just a same old song being sang in different tenors? But the answer to that is, once again, no, because you're catering to your audience and you're creating your own brand. And so when you have your own brand, you will only resonate with a certain amount of people and certain kind of people. And Braedan gave a really good example when we were bouncing back ideas, as Gary Vee, right? Some people love him. Some people know that he's smart, but they don't really like watching his videos. Is he talking on the topics that are widely available on social media? Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah. 100%.
What is he doing differently? He's just doing it his own way. So that's kind of what we are trying to give our businesses. We have all of these different ways for you, not only just to create content, because let's face it, at the end of the day, our job as videographers is to make you a video.
Yeah.
But our job as a production company is to help you with the use of those videos to convert potential audience members into paying clients.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is by delivering content that is consistent and that is very interesting to those people and that provides some sort of value.
Yeah.
And we have all different approaches for that.
100%. Well, and the other thing to remember too, and some businesses aren't necessarily looking for sales. Like we'll talk to a lot of businesses that are already, they're already doing pretty well. That's a common thing we hear. Well, we're doing pretty well. Why do we need video to keep going if we're already making sales? And so there are a lot of other results that a business can have that they want out of content other than making sales too, or having closed business. And that's what we do as well. Like I said, as a production company, when we come to talk to you as a business, we figure out what the reason is for making that content in the first place, because the why is kind of the most important thing, because it's what's going to drive the video to be made and be made correctly. But it's also going to be, at the end of the day, something that's actually going to get you what you wanted in the first place.
And to sum this up before we move to another slide, our job our goal for you is to create paying customers and loyal customers. We want you to have those clients who will follow you no matter what changes your company may be going through. So moving on to common things that we may hear from our clients now that we've stepped away from people thinking that, oh, maybe video is not for me. Now that they have surpassed that point, yeah, I think video is for me, we are finding ourselves in a completely different category of, well, here's what I can say. So, well, I can film this on my phone.
Yes, you absolutely can. And well, the reality of it is everyone's got one of these, right? We all have really nice phones. They all have really nice camera abilities. And yeah, if depending on the project, depending on the thing that you're looking to do, you can, anonymous, yes, depending on what you're wanting to have made, you might not need a full crew. You might not need a full production to make the video that you're looking at making. And so even, if we're working together, let's say we're on a project with you or working with you side by side, every single time we go to look at making a video, we're going to be seeing if this is something that actually needs our touch or doesn't. And sometimes it does not. So one of the best examples I can give from our team is we were working with a client in the agriculture industry. And, she wanted to do a lot of these projects on a whim at her own house whenever she had something arise. And a lot of these videos were kind of time-based, because with agriculture, it's not something that you can necessarily plan 100% of the time.
We can't tell a tomato to grow at a certain day and time.
Exactly. And things are going to happen. And she had a very unique kind of business. So it meant that we couldn't always be there, but also we didn't necessarily need to be. She was looking at making a lot of content on the fly. So instead of, again, being like how some companies might be, where they'd be like, well, no, we need to make sure everything's consistent, we make suggestions of kinds of a little bit cheaper, gear that can go with her phone, so that these videos can start kind of matching the production. So even though it won't fully look cinematic, like the projects that we would do with her, they're still going to look really great, and your feed isn't going to look wildly inconsistent between the stuff that she's shooting and we would be shooting. Yeah. So that's the thing, is we take a look at every single time we go to make a video, and we try and figure out if we're needed or not. And if we are needed, then we let them know that, because let's face it, like, yes, the iPhone, it's 4K, but it's 4K and it's what we call the aspect ratio, not in its actual quality. Yeah. And, the cinema cameras that production companies use are really, really, really nice. And it's going to show up that way.
At the end of the day, you are a small business. Maybe you've grown to a size of a medium business, yeah. But we understand that you're starting from somewhere. We understand that budget is a question that is sometimes an uncomfortable question. Yeah. And sometimes a certain budget will just not work for someone like ourselves, which is fine, because we're not the only ones in this city. And yeah. We highly encourage you to try things on your own. Try things with other people, because like we were saying in the previous slides, everyone is unique, and they will be catering to the same kind of group of people that vibe and jive with them. And same goes for us. But once you do production with a phone or production with a camera, like Braedan mentioned, it just depends on what are your needs, what are your time requirements, and
what kind of video are you actually looking at making?
Yeah. So moving on to another one is, well, I can just hire a freelancer and get it done cheaper.
Yes. And so, yeah, you can. So again, just to go over the difference, and this is, again, by extension, another question we get asked is, okay, you're a production company. How is that different to a freelance videographer? So I would say there are several, but I think the main thing that really differs between us and a freelancer is we're there from the beginning to the end of the production. So what we might mean by that is, when you're looking to make a video made, we come in, we talk to you, and we figure out exactly what you're looking for, and we put everything together before we even start shooting.
We have a pipeline process. Whoa, dropping marbles.
That was.
But we have a pipeline process, right? And in that process, rather than when a freelancer is hired on set. And now I would like to differentiate freelancers. When we speak of a freelancer, we don't mean a freelancer, like producer, freelancer, production manager. We're talking about freelancer videographer, a most common, way of people getting into the industry. And we've started as freelancers. And we do freelance gigs every now and then. But the difference is that we show up, we do our job, and we leave. Whereas when you work with a production company, what you're getting is a pipeline of your project where we discover what your brand needs. We help you with the storyboarding and the concepts. We create your brand's, we use your brand's Bible to create the vision. And from the vision, then we get to show up on the day, shoot, and then we take that and we edit. And we don't just edit to, well, here you go, there, it's done. We edit integrating your brand Bible. We edit integrating your, your brand voice. And we try to make sure that this video is coherent with what your brand stands for, not what we feel like doing that day.
Because and again, we're not harping on freelancers here. We want to just stress that again, because we did come from that and we still do it. And there is so much room for freelancers. And it just like the iPhone and shooting on your phone, it comes down to what does your brand need? What is it looking for? And to hire a freelancer to do something that you've already planned out, totally. That, like, why would you need us if you've already got it figured out, right? You've already got your script done and you know exactly what you want to do. You just want to start shooting, of course. But at the end of the day, like, if you're looking at making something, you're gonna want someone in there at the beginning, if you haven't thought it all out yourself, to kind of take what you want, the results that you want, carry it through. Like I said before, you have results that you're wanting out of your video, right? So we're gonna know that, we're gonna have that in mind when we're building the script, when we're shooting it on location, and then when we put it together in the editing room. So that's the thing that there's that difference, right? Because if we're there from day one, everything that gets built from there to the end has the results in mind. So that would be the biggest difference there.
Totally. And then the last one that I figured, the rules of three, I can do some of the work myself to save the cost. And what we mean by that is sometimes small to medium sized business owners find that our price may be too much, but our style is what they're looking for, or our quality is what they're looking for. So to save the cost, sometimes they offer to do some of the work themselves. And like you see on the slide, we love the input. We love when the clients come up with ideas, because nobody knows your business better than you do. And we're here to help. We're not here to steer your ship. So if you have an idea, we would love to hear it, because most likely it's the best idea that we can come up with as well. So we'll most likely end up doing it. But what sometimes may end up happening is, like, with the business that you run, sometimes a common issue that people have is it's hard to let go of the control. And in your business, sometimes it's hard to find someone else to do, let's say, the books, or it's hard to find someone to do your marketing and you do it all in-house. Sometimes it's hard to find somebody else to edit because you feel very particular about your business, and no one's going to love your business as much as you do. So what we find is that those business owners will come in and start offering their help with writing the script, creating the board, the storyboard, that is, scouting the locations, and then deciding the music, deciding the look, deciding how this is going to be shot. And then we're going to end up with a completely different style. Not because of someone's, experience level or whatnot. It's because you hired us for who we are. And so we love your input, but sometimes there needs to be a period in time where it's just, how do I put it better? You want to let we want your input, we want your ideas, because you're going to be the best at coming up with those. But at the end of the day, the creative process, the creative process of your project will have to be taken care of by us, because that's what a production company does. We take the pain away from you of the planning, you know, and that's how we help you.
You know, there's a great example that I think we could give. It would be with an architect. So let's say you're looking at building your dream house. Of course, when you're gonna find an architect that you like, first of all, right? Because obviously you can't do it all yourself unless you're an architect, and for sure, then I guess problem solved. But you know, you find an architect that you love them for the buildings that they've made, or the houses that they've made or whatever. And for sure, it's your dream house. You're going to have all these things that you want about it. And that architect is obviously wanting to build your dream house. They want that result. So they're going to take those ideas and put them into the design. But at the end of the day, that design and then everything after that, you let that architect do what you want. And so it's a very similar thing, right? We are there to make what you want, but at the same time, you're hiring us because you like the things that you've seen from us. And that's the case for any videographer that you might hire. You see them on Instagram, you see their website, whatever, an ad maybe from their business, and you go, I really like how they did that. So if you like that, then that's why you need to let some of that creative control to the production team, because then you're going to get that look that you liked in the first place.
Totally. And speaking of design, I found this funny thing on the internet from designers, and I thought it really resonates with a lot of other service providers where, you know, I do everything, that's the price, but then when you do everything, the price changes. And that's kind of what we're trying to get on with this, is that, you know, when you give us your advice, we obviously not going to charge you extra for when you give us your advice, because we're not designers, we are a production company. So we'd love to hear your feedback and we'd love to hear your input. But when it becomes a case where, you know, we are now strictly following something that is not our workflow, that's when it becomes you design everything kind of category. So, and for some ideas, you know, since the chat looks a little bit meek, we have a couple of ideas for you guys who are going to be watching this video back for evergreen contents, never-ending content ideas for every single month. So seasonal content or updates, you know, is it Christmas? Is it Easter? Is it Valentine's Day? Is it 4th of July? Is it Canada's Day? Is it Thanksgiving? You have Google is your best help, and you can go and there's honestly a calendar that says every single month you have some sort of a holiday, National Dogs Day, National Smile Day, National whatever day, and whatever resonates with your business best can be used. If you are in a pet care or whatever, something that has to do with animals, National Dog Day, National Cat Day, Best Friend Day, you know, like you can utilize those. Staying current with the local updates. Once again, you know, you must keep your hands on the pulse of the city. And if you are catering to local audiences, and small to medium businesses usually do, if you're catering to local audiences, what's happening in the city? Is there a new art exhibit, Van Gogh exhibits, you know, and you have something to do with Van Gogh? Is there a new restaurant, maybe like a fusion, that you can tie into your homemade prep meal kits that you're making? Is there some, you know, like new video of this $5 million house that went up for sale in North Vancouver? Well, you have some, and maybe let's say that place has an element. Let's say it has a staircase that is made of marble, and it happens to be that one of your properties has a marble staircase. Well, there's your connection, right? You're using free marketing, basically. 100%. You know, team member highlights. Are you a single business owner? Do you have people on your team? Talk about them. Highlight those people. They work really hard as much as you do. Talk about your friends. Talk about the people who are helping you day in and day out
100%
to make business work.
Because keep in mind, those team members can be, like I said, characters or part of your brand, right? Things that can be recognizable about your business. Because at the end of the day, just like your business has a personality, so do the people that work for you. And if those people are interested in being a part of that element of the business, you can really create an audience off of very interesting work members. So keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And the original content can also tie into your team members, because let's say if you are a florist and one of your team members is a photographer, you can make so much fun content about what is it like taking pictures of the flowers? How is it, how is it much easier than taking pictures of babies or people? How flowers can be placed in the same position and they'll move. There is an endless amount of ideas.
So many. And I think that's the one thing that if we can get across today would be, we've talked a lot, and some of it might be overwhelming, but what I think I would really want people to take away from this is, no matter what your business is and what industry you're in, there are a billion ideas of things that you can do, either on your own or with a production company or with freelancers, that will bring you close business or any result you're looking for. And I highly, 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 highly recommend that you give it some thought, because there's a world of just some amazing fun things to do. And as a production company ourselves, we love to do this stuff. We love helping businesses make amazing content because it's fun. I mean, it's the reason we do it. We're passionate about it. What can you say?
And honestly, we're kind of like, well, we're in the best case position, because the thing that we do is we create content for other people. So while you need content, our content for us is other people's content.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing any comments in the chat, but feel free to drop any. But we tried our best to cover as many industries as possible. If you have any more questions, we'd love to either hear from you in our DMs on Instagram or Facebook. We have a contact us form on our website where you can drop us an email. So for all of those you guys who will watch this video, feel free to take advantage of a free 30-minute consultation.
Yeah.
You will get it through filling out a contact form or just getting in touch with us.
Yeah.
So
we'd love to talk.
We'd love to have a discovery call with you. And what it can be a brainstorm session of how can we help your business, and there's no obligations. It can be maybe you actually have an idea that you just need a bit of help with. We can do that for you as well.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking to work in our industry, if you want to join a production company, or if you would like to join videography in general, the industry itself, we have lots of people in our roster that we work with. And if you or Braedan are unable to answer your question, we'll have somebody who will.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we're totally here to help everyone. And one of the really nice things about the video industry is, production companies and freelancers and everyone, we're all here to help each other out. And we're always there to help people. And we extend that forward to every other industry. You have questions or you just want to talk, or if you do have a video that you want made, we're here for that. So
we would love to hear from you guys, and thank you so much, Julia, for putting this all together. There's still a couple more presentations that are happening later this week, I believe, so you can jump on that and tell us more about it. But we're very happy to be a part of this BusinessPalooza, because our whole goal of our company is to give back. And so as much as we can, we'd love to share and encourage and support.
100%.
Thank you guys so much. I really loved the presentation, and I love that you guys have a marketing mindset on how you approach video, because I don't think many video companies have that. It's just what do you need, and they would just make the video, but not thinking strategically how that video is going to be used, and achieving goals, as you guys mentioned at some point, about actually attracting leads and helping to close deals, and how you can do that in a strategic way. So that was really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and wait for you guys on Wednesday. We're going to have our next session, and then our final session on Thursday. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night.
Perfect.
Thank
you, everyone.
Bye.